From WFSB, this is Eyewitness News at 5:30.
The Christian faith, I see death as a friend, as the transition from earthly life to life eternal.
One of the senior leaders of the Catholic Church is dead.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Dennis House.
And I'm Gayle King. Catholics all across the nation are mourning the loss tonight of one of the best-known church leaders in this country, Chicago Cardinal Joseph Bernardin.
Cardinal Bernardin died this morning after a long fight with pancreatic cancer. Today, people are remembering him as a compassionate priest and one of the Catholic Church's most progressive leaders.
Our brother Joseph is at peace. His life on earth has ended. Cardinal Bernardin passed away this morning at 1:33 a.m.
The country's most senior Catholic priest died after battling cancer for more than a year.
At times like this, you know, we need to have somebody like the Cardinal.
At Chicago's Holy Name Cathedral, parishioners went to morning mass as funeral bunting was hung overhead.
This will be a Christian funeral like many that have happened before, only much larger, because so many people love him.
Bernardin was named Archbishop of Chicago in 1982 and was considered the best candidate to become the first American Pope. A few years ago, he was touched by scandal when this young man accused him of sexual abuse. The accuser later changed his story and the cardinal was cleared. And recently, Bernardin talked about the scrutiny his life was always under.
I've told you everything about myself. Would you be willing to tell me as much about yourselves?
President Clinton called the cardinal this week, and the Pope called him late last night to give his blessing. But the loss of one of the most progressive voices in the American Catholic Church was perhaps put best by one of his flock.
Heaven's just a little better place today.
Cardinal Joseph Bernardin was 68 years old. His body will lie in state for 2 days in Chicago, and he will be buried on Wednesday. Now, today, Archbishop Daniel Cronin of Hartford released a statement that reads, quote, "The Cardinal and I were good friends, and I offer him my heartfelt sympathy."
Life at a suburban center for homeless children is back to normal tonight after some mysterious fumes filled the building this afternoon. It happened at the State Receiving Home that's in East Windsor. It's a state facility for homeless children. The building was evacuated after some people inside complained of a very strong gas smell. No one became seriously ill. Officials tell us that the odors may have come from pesticides, but they are still running tests on that. Hartford police say they need your help tonight. They are searching for a 14-year-old girl. Her name is LaCora Madden. She is a black female, about 120 pounds, 5 feet 3 inches tall, with black hair and brown eyes. LaCora Madden was last seen yesterday around 1 o'clock at the Kingswood Oxford School in West Hartford. At the time, she was wearing a yellow jacket, beige pants, and black shoes. If you have any information at all, you're asked to call Hartford Police at 527-6300. A big discovery for researchers investigating Parkinson's disease. Scientists have been able to locate the gene that may play a role in some cases of the degenerative nerve disease. Doctors say now that they know that information, they must determine the identity of the specific gene itself. Once that is discovered, it will give researchers a very important clue as to why the cells die.
Heavy drinkers and people with hepatitis will no longer be first in line for liver transplants. Today, the national organization which matches livers to patients changed its policy, which will now favor people who become suddenly ill rather than those with chronic liver failure. The idea is to make a patient's chances for survival the top priority rather than how close a person is to death. Critics say, though, it will mean more people will die. Now, right now, there are more than 7,200 people waiting for a new liver. Here at the state's two largest hospitals, about 10 people are waiting for transplants at Hartford Hospital and 66 at Yale New Haven. And last year, 804 people died while on waiting lists.
An early morning raid in New York Harbor paid off for federal agents who found exactly what they were looking for. And by the time they were done, they had confiscated more than 43 kilos of cocaine worth an estimated $2 million on the streets. The boat was stopped near the Verrazano Bridge early this morning, and 2 stowaways on board were arrested along with several crew members.
Gayle, there could be a bit of Hollywood along the Connecticut coastline. Steven Spielberg, the man who made Jaws, Schindler's List, and Jurassic Park, is looking at locations on Long Island Sound to make a movie about the Amistad Revolt. Channel 3's Keith Brown looks at the project and gives us a brief history lesson on the Amistad.
I got to tell you, I mean, given that it's a Connecticut story, it'd be really, a shame to have it shot somewhere else.
The story of a ship called the Amistad that made its way to the Connecticut shore more than 150 years ago, and the people on board. A story to be made into a Hollywood movie directed by Steven Spielberg.
Given the history of what he's done, I know that he understands fully the depth of human emotion, the depth of willpower, resilience, and dignity.
The dignity of 53 Africans captured in Sierra Leone, West Africa, and held in the Cuban slave ship Amistad in 1839. It is a story of the man, Joseph Cinque, that led a successful mutiny and led the captives to freedom.
Cinque and those that were captives on the ship La Amistad represent individuals that knew their own human dignity and their own human rights, and as a result took charge by liberating themselves.
Since June, the Hollywood studio SKG DreamWorks has been scouting the state for locations to shoot the film. So because they've been here, does that mean it's going to happen here?
No, it means that, they're looking here, they're probably scouting half the eastern seaboard.
But it's here, in Connecticut, where Cinque fought the American government and won freedom. This is a site where the Africans were actually jailed awaiting trial, and this monument is a reminder of the plight of those aboard the Amistad, a story that all of America may be able to experience when Steven Spielberg brings it to the big screen. And hopefully the setting will be right here in Connecticut, where the story actually took place. In New Haven, I'm Keith Brown, Channel 3, Eyewitness News.
It'll be fun.
Incredible story. It would be great if they shoot it here.
Let's hope, huh?
Maybe we could be extras or something.
Cameos, yeah,
Something.
right here.
One of America's most popular cars is being recalled.
When Gayle and I come back, the latest on a potential safety threat for thousands of drivers and passengers.
Also, making your vacation travel plans inside your very own home using the information superhighway and a mouse. Oops, sorry.
And later, major news about Michael Jackson, a big change in the life for the future father.
We'll be right back.
Start your morning off right. I'm Brendan Key. Friday, Joe's got Connecticut's most accurate forecast. Plus, we're keeping a constant watch on your morning drive. Then at 7.
Hi, I'm Nancy Aborn. A time-honored tradition of craftsmanship comes to life in Woodbury as we visit the Woodbury Pewterer. Tomorrow from 7 to 8 a.m. on Eyewitness News This Morning.
Tonight there is a massive recall of Honda Accords because of potentially faulty airbag control devices. Honda of America is recalling nearly half of the 1995 Accords sold in the U.S. This comes after an investigation by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, which found that some dual airbags unexpectedly deployed. Honda says owners will be notified by mail, or of course you can call your dealer.
Well, with the holidays just around the corner, many of us are making those last-minute travel plans. But if you've run into some roadblocks trying to get a travel agent to make the arrangements for you, now you can do it all yourself. First, you have to have a computer, and you can click on with your keyboard. Airports are more crowded than ever. More and more hotels have a no vacancy sign. Even car rental counters are seeing brisk business. Most people heading out on a vacation or business book their trip through a travel agent. But today, the hottest way to plan a holiday is not by using the phone, but by going online to the World Wide Web. Within the past few months, dozens of internet sites have popped up, allowing travelers to book flights, reserve hotels, even hold a rental car.
Online gives the consumer a lot of benefits. First of all, it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and immediate access to all the latest information available at your fingertips. The other benefit, in addition, is comparative shopping. If you've ever experienced a fare war and picked up the phone and tried to call an airline, getting through is hard enough, let alone trying to get through to several airlines. And with online, there's no waiting.
Some of these sites include reservations.com, Travelocity, and TravelWeb. Here, travelers can shop for the lowest fares, the most convenient flights, even find a hotel near the airport or the beach.
We also have a new technology called QuickTime VR, letting you look at the hotel rooms that you might actually stay in from a 360-degree rotation and decide if it is a room that you'd be comfortable in before you actually invest and purchase that accommodation.
Even the big airlines are getting into the internet game. Airlines like American, Continental, and U.S. Air offer last-minute deals to internet users. They'll even email these specials right to your own email address. But while these sites may appear to give you the lowest fare or the best hotel rate, some people say there's still no substitute for the human touch.
The biggest advantage is we do all the legwork. You know, they just tell us what they need, and very often people have a lot of variables in their travel plans, so they can give us the whole picture and then get off the phone. Let us start doing our homework.
So be careful when you're shopping to get the best deal. You can shop around and be flexible with your travel plans. Try different dates, times, even a different airport if necessary. But I like what they said about the human touch.
Yeah, that always helps.
I like talking to somebody.
Yeah, definitely. But a price is a price.
That's
Bargain's
right.
a bargain.
How do you feel about being 12 degrees, that is? Bruce has a bone-chilling forecast when we come back.
Plus, Whitney Houston sets the record straight on whether she is having a baby.
Hello, Al Terzi, live in the Channel 3 newsroom with tonight's working stories. Tonight at 6, a look into the minds of Connecticut teenagers, what they think about sex, smoking, drinking, and what can be done to help them resist risky and downright dangerous behavior. Also at 6, in prison for gunning down 3 armored car guards, a convicted killer gets a chance at freedom. Not if one victim's daughter, a Hartford cop, has anything to say about it. We'll have those stories, plus people being forced off welfare, hunting for work with no place to leave the kids. This is an important issue, and we'll tell you all about it on Eyewitness News at 6. Back to you, Gayle and Dennis.
All right, thanks, Al.
Thank you, Al. Well, 12 is a good thing if you're talking about an age, but 12 is not a good thing if you're talking
or
about
in
the
millions
weather.
of dollars.
Or in millions of dollars.
But degrees, we don't like 12 degrees. Bruce, what is going on?
And you know, we may see 12 degrees in some locations tonight. It feels like winter out there. It's going to stay like winter right into Saturday morning, but I think by Saturday afternoon, we'll begin to notice a warm-up that will continue right into the early part of next week. Right now, 3 Live Weather Net shows it's winter or cold out there, 34 in Hartford with a dew point of 16. Now in Meriden, at the Meriden Square, we have a temperature of 33 with a dew point of 17. So the air is dry enough to see some locations go down into the teens tonight. A northerly wind at 6 miles an hour in Meriden. And these are temperatures across the state on 3 Live Weather Net. 32 in Enfield, 34 at Channel 3, 33 in Meriden, Milford 36 degrees, and 35 degrees in Waterford. Now live Doppler radar shows that we have a little bit of precipitation to our south in the form of very light snow right across Long Island out into the Atlantic Ocean. That's not going to bother us at all. It's passing out to the south and east of us. However, Washington, near Washington, Dulles Airport picked up 0.7 inches of snow, which is a record snowfall for the date. So in the Washington area, some measurable snowfall for today. On the national picture, what we have is a big storm that's going to develop out in the Rockies and Plains states that will give some areas quite a bit of snow. That is not going to bother us through the weekend. In fact, by the time it does get here, it's going to be a rather weak system. Here's that very weak system passing by to our south. You can see clouds across southern Connecticut, clear skies across northern Connecticut, and high pressure is going to build right down from Canada, clear those clouds away, and give us lots of sunshine for tomorrow. However, it's going to be very, very cold.